$1,000, but I blew it all in separate segments. Excuse me. We'll talk more about that stuff. I'm happy to answer any of those questions in just a moment. So let's get you high, TikTok. Yes. If you have any requests on TikTok right now, there's 62 of you in here. Go hit the link in my bio. I just hopped on live for YouTube. If you type your request there now, you'll be first in line for whatever it is that you want. Okay, right now I have one request, which is UAL. All right, so good evening, YouTube. Sorry about the delay, little technical difficulties there. Just retweeting this. What's going on, Dip and Rip? Nadeem, what's going on? Gold, Spy. All right. Looks good. All right. So first things first, we need to go over today. And God, there's a lot to go over. So first thing, we saw the S&P up 0.87%. We saw the NASDAQ up 1.45%. We saw the Russell up 1.5%, 1.5% as well. And then we saw the Dow up 0.17%. Most stocks, choppy upside. And then we ended up seeing a pretty drastic pullback. Most, or if not all, stocks were pulling back, like Amazon for the majority of the day. Sorry, I had to lighting, you know. Did I put that? No. So we're going to talk about that. So we actually had Amazon hedges, which were scarred at the bell, but ended up being in profit before the bounce at the end of the day. So Lily? Who the hell's Lily? So anyway, 9 out of 11 sectors closed green. Communication services, 1.43% led. Materials lagged. International community is on high alert after Russian missiles cross into Poland, killing 2 people. Which is, you know, obviously just as unfortunate as anything else, although these were apparently missiles that were guided elsewhere by the Ukrainian army. Excuse me. Ukrainian is White House is asking Congress for another $37.7 billion in aid for Ukraine. Japan's economy shrunk by 0.3%. Obviously, I'm just going to skip the Elon news. What's going on? NVIDIA thoughts. I don't have any at the moment. Haven't looked at the chart quite yet. But most semiconductors, if not all. If you have any requests, just drop them on YouTube. That is going to help me help you a lot. So anyway, several banking giants started a 12-week digital dollar pilot with New York Fed. Crypto lender BlockFi is preparing for possible bankruptcy filing, and its FTX accounts hacker swapped his or her stolen crypto for Ethereum, becoming its 35th largest holder. All right, so I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible. But first, we did see Walmart. Walmart had a above expectations earnings, so we saw a big pop on them. Home Depot as well. They beat top and bottom lines. And then, let's see here. There's really just a chunk of earnings right now. But anyway, last week's cooler than expected CPI price print sparkled strong relief rally in bonds and assets. Today's producer prices followed suit. October's wholesale prices increased less than expected, rising 0.2% month over month and 0.4% expected on a year-to-year basis, and decelerated from 8.4% to 8%. Driving this month's data was a strong rebound in energy prices, which pushed up final demand for goods by 0.6%. Meanwhile, service inflation fell 0.1%. Its first decline since November 2020. This helped drive deceleration despite the 2.7% increase in energy and 0.5% increase. Charts Gobber. Funny, always consistent with that message. So, anyway, all right. So that's it as far as that's concerned. Tomorrow, things that we need to be watching. Hold on one second. So economic data is first, right? Tomorrow, November 16th, we have core retail sales month over month. That is the high impact data that we should be, or will likely be seeing impact the market going into tomorrow. So where we saw a sharp rebound today, perhaps we see a sharp rebound back up tomorrow. And then we do have unemployment claims and Philly Fed manufacturing as well. Make sure to tap your screen if you guys are here on TikTok with me. Getting banned again on some videos, had some videos taken down. So next after that, we've got earnings brought to you by StockTwits. Earnings right here for tomorrow. Really the only thing that I'm interested in. I'm curious to see what Target does. NVIDIA has earnings. I might take something on NVIDIA depending on what the options look like. AMAT, Baba, Jamia, Macy's, Stoneco, and then JD and Foot Locker are a couple headliners right there. So anyway, today we saw Amazon, and we did end up, so let's real quick tell the story on what happened today. And if you guys are here on TikTok, the best place to view what I'm doing right here is on YouTube. You can rewind it. I can see your comments. They don't disappear. And right now we don't have that many requests. This is getting close to the cap. So there's only 22 people in there. Drop your requests now before everybody else does. Where did I look for things to be important tomorrow? That is Forex Factory and earnings calendar. So I do this every night as far as that's concerned. So okay, so Amazon. You guys see this green box here? This green box happened to. This green box happened to be a place of trade today. We fell back into it. You can see a big bounce right here off of 101 before sharply retesting and falling down into the box. We ended up hitting support. We ended up settling down right near my 97.50 mark and filling the entirety of the gap. We actually took earnings calls. Some of people had a 100% play on earnings, on earnings, Amazon to the upside. Which was really, really nice to see, of course. But to the downside, our hedges were destroyed. But those hedges ended up being around 10% when all was said and done. So was able to close those out for break even. And then we did see this standard deviation right here on Amazon. And this ended up breaking trend and sitting flat. So tomorrow, listen closely. Depending on what happens. So you guys, tomorrow morning, I'm going to try and be as in-depth as I can possibly be when it comes to where I'm going to be entering, what contracts I'm going to be entering in. I just want to make sure that everybody's on board with the same thing. So tomorrow, right, we can see that this area, this is 98.58 or 98.45. I want you guys to pay attention to this right here. You ever curious on what a stop loss raid looks like? That's what it looks like. You can see that buyers were pretty eager I'm just gonna draw a new one, I guess. So right here, you can see that buyers were pretty eager to hold up this level. This is 98.75. A candle opened below it. They rated stop losses and they ran it right back up and secured the box. So tomorrow, this is technically bullish, So tomorrow I'd like to see Amazon up and closing a candle above 99.50 to go touch $100 naturally, or 99.90, and maybe we see a recovery. But ultimately, it's going to be the same mark, where it's going to be $100.50 and 101 for Amazon to see any further downside or upside. If Amazon decides that it wants to go lower tomorrow, right? And that's going to be a unique situation. But if Amazon decides, that it wants to get out of this box, right? Anywhere below 97.50, I would anticipate a sharp move down into the more than likely the 96.87 and 96.65. That's looking back right here in this area and aiming for that as a price target. Now I know we have this standard deviation here. We're gonna get rid of that. We don't really care about that right now. What we do care about is there is, yes, a broken downtrend, right? And if that downtrend is, if we fall back down and we don't double bottom, then more than likely we can just count that out and look for new lows. So anywhere above 99.50 and $100, I will look for Amazon to move into the 101 area. So pretty simple. Can you explain why you use candle closes for your boxes but the wicks for drawing trends? So that's actually a really good question. So trend often relies on those big liquidity hunts and stuff like that. That's actually where trend is established. And once trend is established, it's kind of like an agreed upon thing. It's usually the third one that everybody agrees on. But that's where you'll see trend more or less. But price control has nothing to do with, well, it does, but it doesn't has anything to do with trend, right? Or price control doesn't have anything to do with trend. So for the most part, when I'm looking at boxes or I'm looking at these zones, I'm looking at where the candles close to give me an indication on where price was previously controlled or controlled at the moment. So like $100.90, I would expect for this to get stopped out. We're gonna bring this closer. Did the bear taste good? You sound far away. You sound far away. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so next on the list is, of course, Tesla. Tesla did pretty much exactly what I was anticipating. I don't know why this is coded wrong, but it's all right. We'll deal with that later. All right, so I'll change this so you guys can see it. Maybe. There we go. All right, so Tesla, and I explained this yesterday, Tesla has that trend, right? And technically we didn't, and this is where, yes, we could just go ahead and expect a breakdown on Tesla, on what appears to be a bear flag. But with all of this downwards pressure, and this is, guys, this is beautiful, beautiful. If you have been trading with me for any amount of time, then this is exactly what you want to see. Why? Because there are clear zones established, right? Clear levels established. So that way we can make good decisions when we see these triggers or these zones get broken. So it seems pretty simple right here. And I'm gonna borrow these. So Tesla, and don't count this out right here, right? So Tesla looks like it may end up giving us a small pop down, right? That would fill what? This is a crazy chart in a good way. Look, so this is technically the remainder of the gap. That gap falls in confluence, right? Falls in confluence with my trend, which then validates my trend for me. You guys ask me all the time, how do I know? I don't 100% know, but when things intersect or price intersects like it does right here, right? And that's 190.70. So I would say 190.75 to 190.70 is likely where we're going to see Tesla bounce or gap down. If Tesla gaps down, I'm in calls at the bell, right? And open would likely be my stop. And that's it. That's it. So Tesla has a great chart. I love the setup. This is of course even just the 5 minute, but we can go to the hourly, where things become obviously just a little bit clearer. This chart just moved itself, but hold on 1 second. No, it didn't. I charted this the wrong way earlier. But anyway, I personally think that Tesla bounces. I think that we extend this bleed up. So tomorrow, I'm actually going to be looking bullish slightly on Tesla. Now, sometimes it's best not to overthink or overcomplicate things and just call things what they are. So if we want to just go ahead and call this, what it looks to be, which is a bear flag, we could do that. But in my opinion, that is not what it is quite yet, but it does have enough consolidation or contraction that I do expect Tesla to make a big move, which is why it is on the watch list. We have plenty of room to the upside for a move to like 201.50 or even 206.60. So you called a $200 or $206 rejection this morning. I did. What did it reject? Was it 2016 or I don't remember. Thank you though. Yes, kind of a bear flag, kind of, right? And I know that. So this line right here, I never ignore trend. Listen to me, because a lot of the things that I do are exploratory. Look at this, right? This is the true opening, right? Or what I would consider the mouth of the pattern. This, right, is basically my support from there. My opinion is they just expand this, because what do I teach you guys about wedges, right? Anybody who's a smart trader knows that wedges truthfully suck, but if you know what they're doing, they can be extremely profitable. Can you imagine if they squeeze this amount of selling out? They're gonna pop this up and then we're gonna be at 204 in no time. And that would be my target, 204. That being said, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 taps right here. So is that resistance? I don't fucking know. But regardless, whenever I'm looking at a pattern, so let's say that I go from my highs, right, and I move this down. So I'm just gonna do the confirmation bias thing. So let's say we're set up like this, right? Music's getting a little. So let's say that I'm set up like this, right? That still requires another third tap of resistance for the most part. So anyway, Tesla tomorrow, maybe a small gap down, and still remaining valid as long as that candle closes back up around 195.50. So tomorrow morning, watch for me to be hopping on Tesla. I like this setup a lot. So MRO update, yeah, we'll go over that. This is actually what we're gonna go over now. Make sure to tap your guys' screen like crazy if you guys are on TikTok with me. I really do appreciate it. It helps me a lot. And make sure to follow the new Potter Stocks account. if you guys are on there. It only has like 36 people following so far. I think I might do a giveaway for one of the followers. No, nothing happening. Nothing crazy. MRO did appear that it might go give us a gap fill and go test what is my dynamic support, which I will show you here in a second. So right here, we have a dynamic support line, and then underneath us, right, we've got our zone that we want to stay out of. Right here is currently where we are consolidating. This is our contraction zone, right? So expansion happens at a open above 33.16. If a candle opens above 33, really I'm going to call it 33.10, 33.16. If you open a candle above that mark, I would expect continuation in the upside. But right now, you may even get another wick down tomorrow to touch $32 and then see a bounce out. So if oil continues its uptrend, so like let's say we pull back, right, and we hit my mark, and then that's when I would be looking for a drive back up, right? And that's where I'd be looking for 34.50. And don't be scared to add something shorter expiration, you know, and link now. Link for what? Oh, it's in my last, or actually it's _ Potter stocks. I hedged today as well. Cool. Okay. So to keep it moving, that's it. OF link, get the hell out of here. So to complete this analysis, Tesla, Amazon, and MRO are top priority tomorrow. I do think that we'll have a decent trading day, but just like today, we started choppy. If you were patient, you were able to catch a couple of pretty good plays. But yeah, just being patient, and we'll see what tomorrow brings us. So if you guys have any requests, which I think we have a ton of them here on YouTube, so I'm going to go ahead and start digging into that. If you guys follow the directions and drop your requests on YouTube, I appreciate that very, very much. That is the best place to drop your requests. So, all right. So the first one that we got is UAL. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and start on the daily, since I have no idea what this is, or not what this is, but what this is looking like as far as trend. Looks like hot dog water. Looks like Vienna sausage water. All right, so I'll say this about this. Yeah, so you may have just a little bit, and we're looking at trend right now. Let's go ahead and let's dial up where you're at on the chart, right? And this is currently the area of consolidation, or your zone. This is the 50% mark at $44. Basically, yeah, $44, if I can get it straight. So here's the deal. You need to stay above $44. If not, you have a gap to fill. Anywhere underneath $41, or I would just go ahead and call it $41, I would expect continuation of the downside. Otherwise, if you can continue holding, if we continue seeing holiday travel sentiment, then I would look for 47.75 for a potential new high for UAL. So. It's funny. I would love to see all these TikTok traders actually make money day trading in and out. Oh, tune in then, dude. Your requests are best dropped on YouTube. You said check the weekly. Are you thinking that's a big bear flag or bull flag, or what are your? I'd still stick with the same trend here. I say if you break it, then maybe we return into the 60s, but otherwise, this looks like the garbage stock that it is. All right. Dank Johnson, nice job. All right, next one on the list is SPY, which is always good to look at. All right, well, look at the weekly. So I actually had this discussion today, right, about SPY and its trend as of right now. My thoughts are, at the moment, is that we're probably on track to see 408 and 410. And that's looking, obviously really far out. Looking at the daily, that trend does hold. You obviously see right here. We can go and pull that down, create that same trend. So my thoughts at the moment are that we are likely either A, we could still see a pullback and see a retest of 390.50 and 388.90. If that level is broken, we have a gap to fill, and I would anticipate a move down into the 376. Also worth noting is that we have a low here and a perfect trend line there. And we have a top here. I don't know if this is going to be the top, but it sure looks like it is. Yeah, so check that out. And that's exactly what I was just talking about. So watch this. If we open a candle underneath 294.50, I would look for SPY to move down into the 282.72 mark, right? 282 perhaps. I don't know about a full gap fill. Oh God. Hold on one second. Okay. I don't know about a full gap fill, but I could see a pullback underneath 294.50 right here. Right? And we'll obviously see if that gives us a new high, like so, or if that is the end of it. But this is actually a really great trend. This is a clean chart. I like it a lot. All right, next one that we got is Microsoft. So it looks like all day today you just refused to hold above 245. You ended up falling back down. So what we can conclude here, and I'm actually going to go to the hourly to do this, because you probably see it even without me pointing it out. I'd like to expand that thing, but okay. So this is what I see as of right now on Microsoft. A candle open. So notice that not a single candle closes. Excuse me. Look right here. Do you see 240, 140? Not a single candle closes except for the last hour here. So I would assume that this could possibly be that next leg down. I have Microsoft trend here, and this could be a nice little pullback. I would go ahead and mark it at 236.35 and possibly 235 even. So, and I like both of those levels for a pullback. And this is the typical zone that you would do this in. But to go green, right? If you were trying to go green, I would look for a move above this green box, which is 243.80. 243.80. So Microsoft chart looks pretty good. You want me to chart gold? I'm gonna. What gold, Angie? I guess is the question. What gold? In the meantime, we'll take a look at Disney. I have not looked at Netflix, no. Okay, so Disney is getting Disney. This one actually, I might need to get the weekly going here. No, I don't really like that. It's reaching. That's not reaching. Oh shit. Damn. Okay, so let me break it down to you like this. At least on the weekly, this is where you're sitting. Above 97.50, candle open, that's a doji strategy. I would look for $100, 101. Moving down to the daily. Obviously, we don't really like this trend. You don't see Disney making a comeback of all things, not Disney. I could see it. So let me say this right now. As of right now, you are here, right? So $98. You might have a fake out tomorrow, but $98, and then the gap, which is at $100 even. Period. End of story. That must be broken. But in truth, right? This zone needs to be here, because if you want to go green, you would have to open a candle above 101.75. 101.75, and then at that point it does appear that there is some sort of trend. Oops. There. I'm actually gonna just borrow this. So yeah, I would oops. I would maybe look for, yeah, you need to break and hold and go hit resistance at 101.75. So I've already done SPY. AMD is next. So daily chart, and I'm just doing this obviously because I don't have fresh charts. So AMD, this may be the short entry. Like, this may be the short entry. Hold on one second. I actually entered into AMD puts not too long ago, 2 days ago, I think. Here's the deal. If AMD gets anywhere in the $81 range, this gap is going to get filled, and that's to 84.65. That's that, right? You're currently dealing with this zone, tiny zone, right here. and that's where you're gonna break below. So underneath 74.50, 74.50, I would expect for 72.23, and ultimately a pullback to 68.90. And that's it. AMD actually has a pretty straightforward setup here. It's all a gamble. It is if you don't know what you're doing. So I guess it's gambling for you. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm 13 and I have an 8.3K Discord. Hi, everybody. All right. Well, let me just say this. I've had Simple Stacks for a long time, and I've had people follow me, and their names are like Stacks. Like the amount of people who have like that Brian guy and his whole like Brian Algoretto or whatever. That dude just like I've watched his lives. He literally says the same like phrases as I did, and then he named his Discord Stacks. Like it was just really fucking weird. So, but you're just another person who has named. But that's interesting that you say that. You're more focused on the amount of people that you have in your Discord, rather than like whether or not you're actually helping them. So having a lot of people in your Discord doesn't mean shit. That just means you're a good marketer. I purge people out of my Discord, actually. You know what I mean? I am gonna set an alert on AMD right here because I don't want to miss adding to this short. Yeah, no problem. You can go watch that breakdown here in just a little bit. Roblox. You know, this thing, honestly, I gotta see this for myself. Oh yeah, it is. So, suspiciously, Roblox looks as if it's back down that trend. It does have what appears to be a bear flag or weakening price action to the upside. Go to the 4 hour here. You guys can see that this is about as perfect as a like wedge or bearish pennant could possibly look. And there you have it. So it may be one more pop on Roblox to the upside to finally fill the remainder of your gap at 39.20 and maybe tap 39.50. And then you could see the El Dumpo. Can I not set alerts on this? That's weird. You can't set alerts on trend lines. Lithium is the future, everybody. Listen, go to the YouTube channel. You can check for the recap there. Disney TSM is next. They gapped up on earnings, so we need to go look at the weekly here. Ooh, man, fuck, that's nuts. So big bounce on TSM. Now earnings has you up around 83.50. Go back here and you'll notice that we didn't really, that was actually the retest level, 83.60. 83.60 was the retest level. That's where you rejected today. That's where you need to open up if you would like to see $90.25, which would be the next price target if that was if that happened. Now this is a big ass double stop, and Taiwan is inevitably gonna get hit with war, like it's been promised, and I just don't know what to think about that. But I also very heavily think that this could be a great. This could be a possibly great short opportunity. I'm actually going to write that down on my handy dandy notebook here. All right. A DJ Stunk. Ape. That coin's all you, man. I think that's your coin. Yeah, so I think TSM might fall from here and possibly go and make lows. I could be wrong, but that's what I think right now, and that's looking at the daily. Looking at the 4 hour, here is what I can tell you. Let's see. Underneath 79.15 and 77.26, I would suspect you should see further downside. I really like this short. I'm gonna write the details on that one. I'm making my way down the list right now, everybody. Yeah, no more trading view. So I don't have anything agreeable except for this downtrend here, but what I can tell you is that your levels are very, very, very clear. And honestly, this is what I would prefer to see on any given setup. This is 190.80. That's going to be of concern. And then I would say here, which is 166.50. From there, I see a median at 223.45. So those three levels right there would describe the potential rejection levels. So pay attention to price action tomorrow. But yeah, MicroStrategy looks like it may actually end up going short before it's all said and done. I will say as well. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, so this is either bounce out, right? Or or breakdown, period. So yeah, the link for the YouTube is in my bio. What do I think about DWAC? So same shit I've always thought. It's a waste of time. Not worth my money. Doesn't have enough liquidity. Liquidity dies out so fast. I think it's the beginning of the end. All right, pretty easy setup here. Kind of free floating here in space. 29.85 candle open. DWAC needs to push and hold above period end of story 32.75. And that's where you could look at DWAC actually as a play. But otherwise, there's a gap down there at 16 bucks. Looks like a decent short as well. So this is you have a YouTube Discord. So all right, a few more here, and we'll go ahead and call it a night. I like that you want me to confirm something that you've already charted. So I cannot confirm a cup and handle, even if the price action agreed with that or looked, it just doesn't technically hold that that setup, and that's of course just my opinion. But as of right now, this is where you go long and short. So candle open below 52.90. I would expect for, honestly, I would expect for a move all the way down into the 47.40 and gap filling the just remainder here at 44.83. Yeah, it could, Trump talking could make DWAC move, but inevitably it goes back down. So, yeah, I just get really tired. No problem. Video. All right, last one here, guys. About to pass out on y'all. You know, I think we talked about this morning, how close NVIDIA was. So I still have 176 for NVIDIA, but this also could be a really good short opportunity, especially if you do get this rounded bottom here and a move up to 181. But you're currently up against this mega box right there. Make sure to go to watch YouTube if you just hopped in. So, all right, everybody. I'm exhausted. I'm about to pass out on you guys. I've been going at it early, so I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Make sure, if you guys are on the Discord, to unmute yourselves if you guys have any questions or anything like that. Just to comment on it very briefly, we did have a member cross a line today on the language side of things, and that's an immediate ban. Usually not a banner, but that wasn't going to fly. So anyway, have a wonderful night. Get some rest. Do your homework. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace.